Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the SD Pro. This is an upper receiver that Washington State said that I couldn't make because they said that we couldn't basically do anything in this state. This is actually going to be my last video filmed in Washington State, so I thought I might as well come outdoors. It is very beautiful here. Unfortunately, Olympia, Seattle kind of ruined the rest of the state. But while we're here today, this is a prototype upper for something I'm going to call like the SD Pro or something. This is a 8-inch 300 blackout with a suppressor that mounts underneath the handguard. Now let's go ahead and get into specifics on the upper receiver. This is something that the parts list is definitely going to change on. Basically, I had like a couple days to throw this together before the Washington AWB went into effect. So some of the parts will definitely change, but it was good because it gave me some time to test out the theory and see if I actually like this, and it was something that I wanted to sell through my company. Now, getting into the basic parts list, the barrel that is currently in here is a 8-inch 300 blackout from Ballistic Advantage. However, that barrel will probably get switched to an 8.3-inch Hansen barrel from Ballistic Advantage. Very similar pistol length gas system, 8.3 versus 8 inches, and of course it comes with the factory pin gas block. It's not really going to change the gassing much. These are still going to run very well with subsonic ammunition. With the suppressor, unsuppressed, your mileage will definitely vary on your ammunition, buffer weight, springs, so on and so forth. Again, currently in here right now, we have a 8-inch 300 blackout barrel, Ballistic Advantage Performance Series, just a very basic barrel that will eventually get switched to an 8.3-inch Hansen, which is a little better, a little nicer, so on and so forth. The handguard that we're using, this is a 10-7 Aero Precision M4E1 handguard, which is a very thick handguard, which the main benefit of that is now we're able to slide the suppressor underneath the handguard while still getting all of our accoutrements further out. If you're using lamb, so on and so forth, lights, depending on what you're using, you can definitely push those out a little bit further. Now, the upper receiver that's on this build currently is just a very basic mil-spec upper receiver, nothing special whatsoever. Again, on the finished product, this will probably be one of the M4E1 enhanced upper receivers that comes with the barrel nut installed so that the handguard mounts directly to the upper receiver so that it's a little bit more accurate. Not that that's really a big deal on 300 blackout, but it is just a little bit nicer of a system. The handguard mounts directly to the barrel nut in this case, which is a very secure mounting system, meaning that your laser aiming modules or whatever you're mounting to the front should, in theory, retain their zero very well. Now, the ammunition that I've been using for testing has been this Callaway Ballistics 220 grain subsonic ammo. For subsonic ammo, it's been fairly inexpensive, in air quotes, fairly inexpensive, and it has ran very well. Now, the charging handle that I'm going with is going to be, again, another Aero Precision product. This is one of their breech charging handles, which does have some gas busting characteristics on top of the fact that it is a very good value, especially from the dealer perspective. I am intending these upper receivers to be ran suppressed, so hopefully that will help mitigate a little bit of that gas coming back to the face. The can that I currently have on here, this is the YHM Resonator K, which is a fine can for the money, I suppose. Not going to be great, not terrible, but it does run the system and works fairly well. It's not the quietest thing out there because it is very small. Some of your bigger cans will, of course, make it sound a little bit better. Keep in mind, we're only using an 8-inch barrel. Now, the bolt carrier group that's in here currently, this is a titanium nitride carrier with a nitride bolt. This probably won't be in the final product either. It will probably be swapped to something that is either chrome or nickel boron. I do want something that cleans very easily, that is very lubricious, because this is going to be suppressed. Again, I am intending these to be run suppressed with the barrel inside the handguard. Now, with the barrel being down inside of the handguard, these will ship with a blast forwarding device that will stick out just in front of the handguard, so that you don't need to worry about blowing up your handguard by having the explosion or a break on the inside. Don't do that. It will come from the factory, from me, with a blast forwarding device that will stick out probably a ½ inch or an inch in front of the handguard itself, so that you can shoot it right out of the box, wait for your suppressor, or if you have your suppressor, go ahead, take the handguard off, mount the suppressor, and you're good to go. Now, even though the 300 Blackout SD is a little bit different than what I normally do, all of the assembly processes are still going to be the same warranty, so on and so forth. Upper receivers will be lapped, the barrels will be bedded to the upper receiver as just a little bit of added accuracy, hopefully. The gas blocks are pinned with high temperature Loctite applied to the screws. On top of that, all 8 of your handguard screws are going to be torqued down to 25 inch-pounds with blue Loctite applied, so everything should be rock solid from the factory. The only thing you're going to need to do is mount your suppressor when you get it, or just run it with a blast forwarding device if that's your jam. Now that's about it on parts and assembly. As far as performance goes, 300 Blackout Subsonic basically has no recoil. This barrel, it does have a large gas port size to run 300 Blackout Subsonic in the 8-inch barrel. However, even with that, with subsonic ammo, this 220 grain Callaway Ballistics, it is incredibly soft shooting, much softer than 5.56 with big, slow slugs. It has a very slow, very smooth recoil impulse, which for me feels great. It is a lot more expensive than 5.56, but as far as performance and actually shooting it goes, it feels very good. Even with a suppressor on the end, you still have a very tight, compact package. If you did want to throw this on a folding lower, take the suppressor off with a QD system, you could definitely bag this if you wanted to. Now, as far as 300 Blackout, the round itself goes, some people consider it to be very versatile. I really don't. I think it does fairly well at suppressed shooting with subsonic ammo, and then it's pretty mediocre when it comes to its supersonic performance. However, it does have that trick up its sleeve if you need it. This is kind of my preferred setup for it, something that is lightweight, portable, handy, can be concealable in the right situation, and does give you a good amount of suppression, being a lot quieter than 5.56. Is it quiet? No, but it is quite a bit quieter. And again, if you put any sort of distance in between you and what you're shooting at, it's going to be very difficult to tell where that sound is coming from, where that gunshot is coming from, because the sound of a 220 grain slug hitting rocks and dirt or metal, whatever it is that you happen to be shooting at, is quite a bit louder at like 50 or 100 yards than the report of the gun itself. So for me, 300 Blackout is a fun niche caliber that is unfortunately expensive to shoot and probably a little bit too niche for most people. Now, getting into something that I do want to talk about, this wrap on the front end, this is actually from Grove Tech. This is one of their new rail wraps that I've been using on basically every one of my setups that I've been filming, and they work fairly well, especially for a setup like this where you have a suppressor mounted inside of the handguard, keeping that heat off of your hands for a much longer period of time. It does that job fairly well. As you can see, it also has slots for your cable management. It also has sling retention possibilities. That's how I run it. And you can still mount your stuff to the bottom with these very nice cutouts on it. The only thing that I don't like about the rail wrap is that with the string attachment on top that you kind of have to weave through, it is a little bit annoying to set up, and I think that whole thing could be simplified by just having a Velcro wrap over top. That would work much better, be so much faster, easier to switch to different guns. Now, something like this is usually how I would have my sling stage, and then it is very easy to get on and off and go and do whatever it is that you need to do. Now, I might as well touch on the hearing safe aspect of this. With a short barrel, small suppressor, it's not really hearing safe. I don't really recommend doing this. But it's by no means uncomfortable. There's no ringing or anything else like that. As you can see, it is incredibly soft shooting, basically no recoil whatsoever. But there is some of what will eventually be the SD Pro, or whatever I end up calling it. So let me know what you guys think of the build, what you guys think of 300 Blackout, what parts I should change, what I should keep, so on and so forth. With all that out of the way, guys, I do want to say thank you so much throughout all of my time here in Washington State. For those of you that I'm leaving behind here, good luck, and I wish the best for you. And yeah, that's about all I got to say, guys. Thank you so much once again for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Peace off.